Hey guys, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to go over how to add a temperature sensor to your Raspberry Pi HomeKit setup. There are some parts you need. The first part you need is the temperature sensor and its module, which is in the description, a DS18B20. Make sure your Raspberry Pi is fully configured with HomeKit on the latest version, etc. You can follow my other videos if you want to install HomeKit, explore what HomeKit is, if you don't know what it is. But okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is connect your SD card to your computer. Regardless if it's Windows or Mac, it should pop up wherever in the Windows it's in the computer folder. On my Mac, just let me plug this in now, and it should come up. There you go. You can see boot has come up. And so you just want to open it, and you want to scroll down to config.txt. You want to open that file. You want to scroll all the way to the bottom, and make sure you add a new line. Click enter, and add this line to the bottom of the file. DT overlay equals W1 dash GPIO. So after you entered that, you want to save the file. Make sure it's saved and close it. Just click OK for this. And close the Finder window. And you can eject the SD card. And that's the end of that. So now we'll proceed to the wiring part of the tutorial. Okay, so now we have a wiring diagram. And so the first pin you want to connect is the data pin. So in the 3 pins, it's the first pin on the module, DAT. And so you want to take a female to female jumper pin and connect that to GPIO physical pin 7 on the Raspberry Pi. That's the BCM GPIO 4. That's all the technical stuff. But you want to connect it to physical pin 7 on the Raspberry Pi. Next, you want to connect the VCC portion to the 3.3 volt line of the Raspberry Pi. If you're already using this, you can plug it into 5 volts or another 3.3 volt line on the Raspberry Pi. It doesn't matter. The sensor can take anywhere from between 3 volts to 5.5 volts, so you'll be completely fine. And the last one you want to do is connect ground to the ground on your Raspberry Pi. On my Raspberry Pi, I had pin 9, which is ground that's available. You could connect to physical pin 6, physical pin 9, the one I use, physical pin 20. Whichever ground you have available, you can use that. So now let's move to the software portion of the tutorial. Okay guys, so now we're at our Raspberry Pi. Make sure all the jumper cables, everything is connected. Ensure everything is good so we can start the software portion without any issues. So first, you want to run this command, clear, so we can clear our screen. So next you want to run sudo, let's go to cd, let's clear the directory, whichever directory in, it'll get you home. So then let's run the command sudo wget goo.gl /p number 5, capital U, capital G, lowercase n, capital J, and click enter. And make sure the link is right. And just want to click enter. And there you go. It's downloading the script. And there you go. It's downloaded the script. As you can see, it says saved. And when you do use the ls command, you can see it's on your home directory. So the next command you're on is sudo nano p 5u, it's the script, and make sure everything's there, make sure there's no funky characters, it's downloaded properly. A lot of you were having issues with that. So the next command you want to run is sudo su, enter root, and then you want to run this command, chmod plus x, and then the script p5u gnj, and you want to click enter. And then the next command you want to run is sudo sh p5u, and then it's a script, and you just want to click enter. And this is really quick. This script isn't as long as the other scripts before. Okay, so for an overall synopsis of the script, it downloads the accessory file from my GitHub. You can go check that. I'll leave it in the description if you want to see more of the code. It adds the modules that are required to HomeKit. It also installs the proper Node.js modules that are required as well. And so just give it a few more seconds, and there you can see npm has activated Node Package Manager, and it's installing the DS18B20 module for that. And okay, so now you can see we have an all done. And by the way, guys, that was real time. It should be just as fast on your Raspberry Pi, if not faster. So you can see the output. It installed the module, just in case if you scroll up. I am doing this over SSH, by the way. So next you want to run the command exit, and you return back to the Pi user. And next you want to run the ls command, make sure everything is still there. Go to the HAP-NodeJS directory and accessories directory. In that, and so now you can see we're in that HAP-NodeJS directory, and here you can see the new temperature sensor accessory.js. So the next you want to run sudo nano temperature sensor accessory.js, and we're in the file. So just make sure there's no funky characters, exit the file, and the next command you want to run is sudo sys bus, and then this you want to go to this directory. You want to click enter. Okay, and so now you can see we have changed directory, and if you use the ls command, you can see there's a new folder type thing with the 28011. That is your sensor, by the way. So each sensor will have a different ID. And so next you want to run the command cat and then this. And so it's your sensor ID and then w1 slave. And here you can see the T equals 21500. That is actually your temperature reading. So so in my case, it's 21.5 degrees Celsius in my room where I have the sensor installed. So next you can run it again, you can see it change. If you can put a heat source next to it, it will go up. So that's the exact temperature reading. Okay, so the next command we're going to run is cd, and then you want to go to the HAP-NodeJS folder again, cd hap-nodejs, and then you want to stop your Node.js setup. So if you used forever, you want to stop that. Another one is reboot your Pi. Just stop the hap-nodejs system. You don't want to run that. Nope. We want to go to the folder. So let's go back to the sys bus directory. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the one, yep, devices. Okay, so you want to run the ls command, and here where you can see the 28, you want to copy that ID. That's actually your sensor ID, and we're going to need that now. So make sure you got that copied. And so in my case, I've successfully copied that. And so now let's go cd and then go to the hap-nodejs directory, go to accessories, and you want to edit your temperature. Make sure you're in the hap-nodejs directory, and you want to edit your temperature file. So sudo nano temperature sensor underscore accessory.js. You want to click enter, and now we're in the accessory file. And so here you can see in the top we have a lot of var or variables in the JavaScript language. And the first thing you want to change is the DS sensor variable. And you can see it's similar to what we copied just a few minutes ago. So you want to erase the existing ID and paste your ID that you got from the previous command into that. And so that is, I guess, the serial number of the sensor. And okay, so the next one is the temperature name. So in mine, for my temperature sensor, this is where you set the name. So I set mine as a bedroom sensor. And then in the UUID name, you want to change that just in case. In case you are going to have more than one sensor. So in my situation, I'm going to make that, make sure there's no capitals or spaces in this. So I'm just going to set mine to bedroom dash temperature dash sensor. So if you want, you can use a very similar setup to me. Just make sure your sensor ID is different and corresponds with your sensor. And so next you want to scroll down a bit to where we can get to the server username, server pin code. Here you want to change the username in case you're using core.js. So just make it a random MAC ID. It doesn't really matter. I suggest you use character letters A through D and numbers 1 through 5, just in case you don't run into, and make sure everything is capital. So A through F is my recommendation. Try to use those characters. Don't go Z, X. Don't use any of those. Save the file. Control X, Y, and then hit Enter. Don't change the file name. And go back to the make sure you did all the editing you want. And go back to the previous directory, cd.ls, and then make sure you have all your files. Everything's ready, and then run sudo node abridged core.js. And here you can see the HAP-NodeJS is starting, and any second now you should see the temperature sensor. There we go. And you can see parsing accessory temperature sensor underscore accessory.js. If you've already linked the bridged core.js on your phone, and there you can see my phone already paired with it, and it's getting the current temperature reading. And so now in the next part of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to ask Siri for the temperature. Okay guys, so if you haven't paired your sensor yet, follow my pairing tutorial to pair it with your phone. I used bridgecore.js, so as soon as I started the node, immediately the sensor should have popped up. So if you didn't do that, go check the previous video. I'll leave it in the description. So first, let's start Siri. Let me ask Siri, oops, there we go. Let's ask what's the bedroom sensor temperature reading. That's what my sensor is named. And there you can see it's given me the current temperatures at 69.8. Let's ask about another sensor. And actually, I'm going to ask about just what's my temperature reading at home. And it's showing me the range that I have at home. And so next, I'll ask for another specific sensor. So make sure you use this sentence format. What's the garage sensor temperature reading? That's how you can get it. So guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. I don't mind replying to you guys. I'll do the best I can to solve the issue. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.